A very pleasant good evening, everyone. Hometown Cable. A very pleasant good evening, everyone. MotorSports Magazine from the Airborne International Raceway. First heat for the Flying Tigers. On the pole is Robin Wood. Outside is Ray Claflin. Ron Weston in the 35 car, Jason Leo in the 8 make up the second row. Under green, and Robin Wood jumps out to the early lead. Ray Claflin stuck on the outside in second, but here comes Claflin right back. Robin Wood leads the way. Ron Weston in the second spot. And those two cars have started to pull away from the third place car of Jason Leo. Now Leo moves a bit closer. Ron Weston shoots by on the outside. Wood comes right back. That 35 car is the track championship car last year that Steve Renadette drove. Good battle for the second spot. Wood and Leo as Weston is pulled away. Halfway in this first heat for the Flying Tigers as we continue to watch this good battle for the second spot between Jason Leo in the 8 and Robin Wood in the 61. Now Leo moves into that second spot. Wood holds down third. Ray Claflin runs in the fourth spot. Rick Dennis moves on the inside of Claflin, and he will take over fourth. Back up front, you can see the lead that has developed as Ron Weston in the 35 car is pulled away. Final lap for Ron Weston. Weston will come down this stretch and pick up the checkers in this first heat for the Tigers. Jason Leo finishes second, Robin Wood third. The fourth spot goes to Rick Dennis. And in fifth, Ray Claflin in the 90. First heat for the Tigers in the book. And Ron Weston pulled off a triple crown last year in this division. Picks up his first checkered flag of the evening and picks up the first step in what he hopes tonight will be a triple crown for the Vermont driver. Heat number 2 for the Flying Tigers. The Matten car runs on the inside of row number 1. On the outside in the 3 is George White. Row 2, Ron Klein in the 28, Ralph Rockwell in the 1. Eldred Hutchins runs the 37 car. Rookie driver Brad Duquette also in this field, and his number 18, which won the car show up at Champlain Center North. And heat number 2 for the Flying Tigers is underway. Matten jumps out to the lead in the 27 car. George White comes right back on the outside. Those two battle side by side as they come down the stretch to complete lap number 1 in the second heat for the Tigers. Ron Klein looks to move up to that second spot along the inside as Alan Matten still leads it. George White does not want to give up the spot. Matten opens up a 2-car length advantage on Ron Klein as Eldred Hutchins moves up on the inside. Now Klein stuck on the outside, and he starts to fall back. Ralph Rockwell takes over the 3rd spot. And a challenge for the lead as Eldred Hutchins looks to the outside. Hutchins on the outside, Madden on the inside. They're side by side as they head into turn number 3. Just waiting for one of the two to make a mistake is Ralph Rockwell, who runs in the 3rd spot. Oh, they bump going into the first turn, but both drivers do a good job and hold it together. Madden starts to pull away, and here comes Rockwell looking to the inside of Hutchins. 2 laps to go this time by. Rockwell takes over the 2nd spot, drifts high to the outside. Now that allows George White to stick his nose in, and he moves into the 3rd spot. What a battle. Top 4 cars exchanging positions. Now White takes over 2nd. Now White will look to the inside of Matten as he slips high, and White will take the lead. George White takes the top spot and starts to pull away. Matten on the inside holds down 2nd. Ralph Rockwell is 3rd. Those two go side by side into the final turn. White comes down the stretch. He'll win it. Good battle for 2nd. And it goes to Alan Matten. Ralph Rockwell picks up the 3rd spot. Eldred Hutchins is 4th. Ron Klein finishes 5th. But winning it, local driver. Changed his colors this year. Went from the Dale Earnhardt look-alike car to a pretty plain white with a red number 3 on it. Same sponsors. But George White picks up the victory in the 2nd heat for the Flying Tigers. High handicap heat for the Flying Tigers. Brian Williams and Mark Lamberton make up row number 1. Row number 2, Randy Yance and Chet DeVarney. Dave Foster and Doug Murphy make up the 3rd row. Heat number 3 for the Tigers. Williams on the inside and Lamberton on the outside. They're side by side as they head down the backstretch for the first time in the 3rd heat. Lamberton sticks a nose in front, but the inside line faster. Now Lamberton pulls down to the inside, holds that 2nd spot. Williams starts to pull away from Mark Lamberton. Got about a 3-car length lead. Randy Yance runs in the 3rd spot. Chet DeVarney runs 4th. David Foster is 5th. Halfway this time by, and it's still Brian Williams, but now Lamberton has closed the gap to within half a car length. Now as they head down the back stretch, again Williams pulls up, but here comes Lamberton in the corners. 2 laps to go for Brian Williams. Lamberton runs second. Final lap for Brian Williams. It would take a mistake on the part of the driver from Vermont to allow Lamberton to catch up, but it's not going to happen as Williams comes down the stretch. Lamberton gets a bit sideways. Williams wins it. Mark Lamberton finishes second. Randy Yance third. Chet DeVarney fourth. Dave Foster finishes in the 5th spot. But the winner from the state of Vermont in the 64 is Brian Williams. The Tiger heats are in the books, and Williams picks up the win in the high handicap heat. Heat number 1 for the late model Sportsman. Lance Furno in the 31, Brian Hoare in the 45, Barry Schwartz in the 52, and the 75 of Peter Fecto. Richard Bootsy and Dave Whitcomb, row number 3. David Gay and Doug Hoare, row 4. Lonnie Lacalade and Monty Lemaire make up row number 5. Dennis Alderman and Trampus Demers, final row. Bit of a slow start, but works to the advantage of Lance Furno in the 31. He jumps out to the early lead. Brian Hoare comes right back on the outside. Trouble on the Richard Bootsy car as he's dropping back. Back up front, Lance Furno in the 31. Brian Hoare runs second. Barry Schwartz holds down the 3rd spot. Peter Fecto is 4th, but not for long. Dave Whitcomb powers up on the outside. And Doug Hoare in the 46 sticks his nose into the fray. Good battle for the 4th spot. Whitcomb takes over 4th. Meanwhile, back up front, the gap is closed between Furno and Hoare. We got trouble as the 75 of Peter Fecto goes spinning out of turn number 2. And we see Mike Watts in the infield, famous photographer from the area. Mike here shooting the ACT tonight, but we've got our first caution flag of the night for Pete Fecto, who has come to a halt in turn number 2. 4 laps in the books. We get ready to go back to green. Furno and Brian Hoare, Schwartz and Whitcomb, Doug Hoare and Demers. This time by, field bunches up. Pace car heads down pit road. And again, a very slow start. Hoare on the outside. Furno on the inside. Furno gets a bit loose. Hoare on the outside. Will he have enough to get by this time? Dave Whitcomb moves into that third spot, but he drifts up the track and drops back a bit. Hoare again mounts a challenge on the outside. Still 3, now 4-car battle for the lead. Doug Hoare has moved up in his 46 car, and he takes over third. So the old man moves to third and looks to take a spot from the youngster. Two to go for Lance Furno. Caution flag has come out as Barry Schwartz in the 52 car has spun out and now got it back underway. So the caution flag is out. The field will slow down. 8 laps are complete. 2 to go in this first heat for the late model Sportsman. 2 laps remain. Barry Schwartz has rejoined the field at the back of the pack. Furno again gets the jump. Doug Hoare moves alongside Brian Hoare, and those two will battle it out for the second spot. Now Brian Hoare dumps back to the inside. Barry Schwartz has spun out again in turn number 1. That's not going to affect it as these two cars will battle it out. Checkered flag this time by Furno on the inside, Brian Hoare on the outside. It's going to be Lance Furno to get the checkers. Lance Furno picks up the win. Brian Hoare second, Doug Hoare third. Trampus Demers is fourth. Dave Whitcomb finishes in the 5th spot. Picking up the win from Williamstown, Vermont. The 31 car, and that's Lance Furno.
And we'll give you your official finish, ladies and gentlemen. And as they finish, it is this way. In 5th position from Essex Junction, Vermont, number 25, Dave Whitcomb. To be young, of course.
Late model Sportsman, heat number 2, Chris Durkee in the 92 in the front row. Robin Branham outside. Norm Andrews in the 2 and Red Mead in the 1. Joe Thomas runs in row 3 along with Steve Miller. Durkee and Branham side by side as they head down the backstretch the first time. Norm Andrews, feature winner at Sanair, runs in the 3rd spot. Red Mead on the outside in his Ford Thunderbird. Robin Branham takes over the top spot. Red Mead on the outside looks to move into second. Now Mead moves into the 2nd spot, moves alongside of Branham, and those two cars battle it out for the lead. Oh, a bit sideways on the backstretch. Nice job by Durkee to keep that car together. Got some sheet metal trailing. Branham continues to lead it. Red Mead holds down the second spot. Norm Andrews running third. Good three-car battle. Now right alongside of Branham moves Mead. Now Mead drops back and Andrews takes the lead. They go three wide into the corner. Branham drops to second. He's a bit sideways. Andrews is pulled away to a 6-car length advantage. Here comes Steve Miller on the inside in the 00. Miller takes over second as now Branham is stuck on the outside. Brent Dragon runs in the third spot. Red Mead is fourth. Joe Thomas is fifth. Back with the leader, Norm Andrews from Warren, Vermont. Steve Miller runs second, and Brent Dragon is third. It'll be 2 laps to go this time by for Norm Andrews. For Andrews. Miller has closed the gap to about 4 car lengths, but he will not have enough time as now he closes it within a length and a half, but they'll come down the stretch and Norm Andrews will get the job done in this second heat for the Tigers. Miller finishes second. Brent Dragon third. Red Mead holds on for the 4th spot. Joe Thomas finishes 5th. One of the oldest drivers in the late model Sportsman division is Norm Andrews. As we said earlier, he picked up a feature win at the Sanair Super Speedway in an International Series race. Now he picks up the win in heat number 2 for the late model Sportsman here at Airborne. Heat number 3 for the late model Sportsman. Jim Silly from Groton, Vermont starts on the inside of row number 1. Bucko Branham on the outside in number 63. Row 2, Dennis Demers in the 86 and Mark Lanfear in the 49. Jim Barton in the 57 starts on the inside, followed by Danny Bridges from Peru starting in the 6th spot. Silly gets a bit sideways. That gives Branham the lead, and here comes Demers looking to the inside of Silly. Oh, Silly runs right into the back end of Branham. And now Demers looks to the inside, and he goes from 3rd to 2nd, now to 1st. Jean-Paul Cyr in the 32. They make it 3 wide. Branham is stuck on the outside, and he wisely backs off. Dennis Demers has pulled away, and Jimmy Barton has taken over the 2nd spot. 3 laps into the books. Cyr and Silly battle it out for 3rd. Silly drifts up a bit high. That allows Danny Bridges to move up in his Thunderbird. Now Silly comes right back on the outside. Halfway this time by. Good battle for the second spot. Barton, Sear, Bridges, Tony Andrews, and Jim Silly. Now Bridges moves inside of Sear. Bridges moves to third. Tony Andrews takes over fourth. Sear drops back to fifth. Half a straightaway lead for Dennis Demers. We'll continue to watch the battle for the second spot. 2 laps to go this time by. Bridges moves back to the outside. He's side by side with Barton. Final circuit. Dennis Demers is going to win this race. The only question remains is the second place finisher. Barton has the inside line. Bridges drifts high on the outside. And Barton wins the battle for second. Bridges drifted high and fell all the way back to the fourth spot as Tony Andrews took over third. Jean-Paul Sear finishes fifth. But driver that's got a 2-car team this year, and he needed it the first week as his first car got torn up as he drove into the wall. From the state of Vermont, Dennis Demers picks up the win in the high handicap heat for the Flying Tigers. Correction, the late model Sportsman. I knew it would happen sometime this year. The former Flying Tigers, now the Sportsman. Dennis Demers wins Heat 3. Flying Tigers semi-feature. Robin Wood and Ron Weston in row number 1. Jason Leo and Alan Matten in row 2. George White, Ralph Rockwell, row number 3. The 37 is Eldred Hutchins. The 64, Brian Williams. 29 is Mark Lamberton. Tigers semi-feature underway. Robin Wood gets the jump. Weston a looming presence on the outside as he zooms by as they head into turn 3. Weston on the outside, Robin Wood on the inside, and Weston will power by down the backstretch and take over the lead. Wood falls to second. Jason Leo is third. George White runs fourth. Three wide into turn number 2. Mark Lamberton looks to make it 4 wide at one point. And Lamberton is moving up in the 29 car. Lamberton currently runs 5th. We'll continue to watch this battle as Weston has opened up about a 20 car length advantage. Leo currently holding down that second spot. Rockwell is third. Lamberton moves to the 5th spot on the outside of George White. Now he looks to continue his move to the front. Halfway this time by. 3-car battle we watch is for the 3rd spot. Here comes Lamberton threading the needle down the stretch. Good racing here in the Tigers semi. Rockwell runs third. Lamberton will again look to the middle. Now he goes back to the outside. Now Lamberton takes over the fourth spot and looks to move up on Ralph Rockwell. Ron Weston with a commanding lead. Lamberton moves to the outside, and he will take over the third spot as they go down the backstretch. 2 laps remain. George White moves around Robin Wood. Now Brian Williams on the move in the number 64 car. 1 lap remains. Lamberton runs third. Jason Leo is second. And the big lead that Ron Weston opened up early, he has maintained. The winner of the Flying Tiger Semi, Ron Weston from Colchester, Vermont. Jason Leo finishes second. Mark Lamberton third. Brian Williams fourth. And Ralph Rockwell finishes in the 5th spot. That was early in the season last year that Ron Weston picked up a Triple Crown in the Street Stock division. Street Stock's now known as the Flying Tigers, and he's got 2 legs in the Triple Crown right now. Weston pulls into victory lane, gets the checkered flag, and will make his parade lap as he picks up the win in the Tigers semi. Street Stock heat number 1. Steve Benoit and Rob Clark in row number 1. Joe Rotella, Toby Ebersole in row number 2. Benoit on the inside and Clark on the outside. Quickly, Rob Clark jumps to the lead in his 0-1 car, and here comes Benoit right back on the inside. Caution flag is out. We got 2 cars bumping. Clark's going to think about going to the wall, but wisely backs off. Caution flag is out as the 19 car is spreading some oil on the track, and rather than bother trying to call the rest of this race, we're going to pick up the call from Airborne track announcer Brian Googe.
6, we're down to 5. Eight car in off. 30 cars, so we get ready to go. We see a little smoke coming out of one of our yellow banana cars, so we're going to go right behind 0-1 of Rob Clark dashes into the lead. Benoit, whoa, he made his dash right off the racetrack. He picked up a little bit of ground. Tremendous race to the exit. what's bothering you in the crowd. We just done a small action to get rid of them. Here they come out of corner number 4. White flag out. 1 lap to go. East Montpelier, Randy Blake in third spot. On three side. Looking for the picture at the start finish line on left their side. Yes, sir. He happened to. It's just a small device ready to come to help get rid of any bugs or mosquitoes that may be around you. And over to the three side. Your winner comes across all by himself. And that is Steve Benoit. What a great little bit of racing action. Our three stock Davis in heat number 1. Interesting device that I'm sure will be checked when we get back to the pit as we finish our Napa Legend Street heat number 1. And the official finish will look like this. Franklin, Vermont, Mike Boucher. Sorry, Mike Buster. And from Marshall, New York, number 53, David Rotella. Second place in the street stock car show, that's right. And number 79 is Elizabeth Bernard. From Peru, New York, Bernier picked up the feature victory last week's street stock event. And he seems to be quite content. He's going to hold the inside to see if he can get himself moved from the back of the pack to the front very quickly now. Here they come off the fourth turn. Greg Kaye is first position. Here they come. In the corner number 2, the 2x2 block. And Kaye heads off by himself. And a little late black as we get into 3. We'll bring him out of 4 for you. Hey, all by himself. On the corner, followed by the 49 is Mike Buster. And here they come. Now, pushing the race past. Oh, we got a little bit of a change in the action here. A halfway slide will fly this quickly as they bring him down and around. Here comes Payne all by himself. Followed by, and it's still followed by the second spot. David Rotella. David Rotella keeps that car looking great. Number 49, Mike Buster. And Buster is on the outside now. He holds down 4th spot as we come down. And Greg Kaye all by himself with lead up. Between the second and third place cars. And Donald Moore wants to hold on off, but here they come. We got another one going on the inside now. David Rotella makes the move to the inside. Here they come, side by side. Greg Kaye, your leader. But look at the action here now. David Rotella finds himself in second spot. Oh, watch the action. Oh, there inside, over the hill. And just up a little bit of a dive right to the outside. While all of that is happening, Greg Kaye comes down and takes on the side. Second flag for Greg Kaye. Donald Moran. Whoa, some great racing from 79 of Jeff Burney out of Peru, New York, brings it across after a little bit of rainy driving down on the far side.
Late model Sportsman semi-feature time, and we've got 2 whores in the front row. Bryant on the inside in the 45, Doug Hoare on the outside in the 46. Norm Andrews, row number 2. Norm Andrews from Vermont. On the outside, another Vermont competitor, Red Mead. Steve Miller starts 5th. Brent Dragon is 6th. Dennis Demers, Jim Barton. They come down the stretch to take the green flag. Brian Hoare goes out for the early lead. Doug Hoare drops back on the outside as Norm Andrews takes over the second spot. Here comes Steve Miller looking to move into third. leads it. Battle developing for the second spot. Miller on the inside, takes over second. Andrews drops back to third. Miller will try and close in on Brian Hoare. Hoare drifts high, gives Miller a shot at the inside. Miller elects to stay back. Dennis Demers moves into the fourth spot. Andrews falls to fifth. Back up front, it's still Brian Hoare and Steve Miller battling in the front end. Now Hoare on the outside. Miller has the shot at the inside move. Moves alongside as they head into turn number 4, and Steve Miller takes the lead. Battle develops for second as Brian Hoare still with an ill-handling race car. The car wants to push to the top of the track. That gives Dragon the shot at the second spot, and Brent will move into that spot. Steve Miller starts to pull away from Brent Dragon. Cars are in two bunches. The last 7 and the first 5. Lap number 10, this time by it'll be 2 to go for Steve Miller. Dragon runs second. Brian Hoare runs third. Steve Miller from New Haven, Vermont picks up the win in the late model semi-feature. We check the scoreboard. The top 5, Steve Miller, Brent Dragon, Brian Hoare, Dennis Demers, and Norm Andrews. Steve Miller's 00 was the car that won the Champlain Center Car Show, and you can really see why as he pulls into victory lane and picks up the checkered flag for his win in the late model Sportsman semi-feature. Feature time for the Flying Tigers. Robin Wood and Ray Claflin make up row number 1. In the second row, it's Jason Leo and David Drake. Alan Matt and Ron Weston, row number 3. George White, Ron Klein, row 4. Ralph Rockwell, Eldred Hutchins, row 5. Brian Williams, Mark Lambert in row number 6. Randy Yance, Chet DeVarney, row 7. David Foster, Rick Dennis in row number 8. The rest of the field, 26 strong. Get ready for the green flag. Claflin and Drake lead them down the stretch. And we're underway. Matt moving up on the inside. They make it 3 deep into the turn. That usually doesn't work. We shall see. Looks like Upper Cornelius Street on a Canadian holiday. They go 3, sometimes 4 wide down the backstretch. Robin Wood leads it in the 61. Jason Leo runs second. Ron Weston is third. Mark Lamberton on the move in the 29. He's taken over the 7th spot. Battle developing for the lead. Leo on the outside, Wood on the inside. Ron Weston moves up in the 35. Leo takes the top spot. Weston moves to second. Lamberton now on the outside, looks to take over the 5th spot. Lamberton and Brian Williams side by side. Good battle developing right in front of them as the 34 of Randy Yance and the 3 of George White. Robin Wood runs third. Now the battle is for the lead. Jason Leo and Ron Weston. Now the caution flag is out, as some oil on the track in turn number 1. 8 laps in the book. And Jason Leo leads it. Ron Weston runs second. Robin Wood third. George White is fourth. And Randy Yance holds down the 5th spot. 8 laps in the book in the Flying Tiger main event. Ready to go back to green in the Flying Tiger main event. Jason Leo leads it. Ron Weston running in the 2nd spot. Leo in the 8, Weston in the 35, side by side down the backstretch. And look at the power of that 35 car as he moves quickly to the lead. And look who's moved to third, Mark Lamberton in the 29 car. Leo spins. Jason Leo running in the 2nd spot, spins out. And he will be able to rejoin the pack. It's halfway this time by. Jason Leo refires his car. The leaders are moving into turn number 2, and it's Ron Weston in the 35 and Mark Lamberton in the 29. George White holding down that 3rd spot, as there will be 12 laps completed this time by. They move around the lap car of Champlain's Lee Morrison. Looks like it's going to be a two-car battle to the finish. These two cars have started to pull away. Weston holding on to about a three-car length advantage. Well, we saw this quite a bit last year, only when this car was numbered 76 and Steve Rennedet was behind the wheel. Mark Lamberton still chasing, but now it's Ron Weston in the number 35. Weston, by the way, looking for the Triple Crown in this main event. 5 laps to go this time by. Lamberton trying to close in. He moves right on the back bumper of Weston. Four laps remain. Weston and Lamberton side by side in the running order. Three laps to go. These two cars will soon be coming into lap traffic, so that could play a factor. They move around the 80 car of Doug Murphy. Two to go for Ron Weston. White flag. White flag. 1 lap remains. Weston and Lamberton run 1-2. Lamberton thinks about going to the inside. Lap traffic of Brad Duquette in the way. Lamberton gets it sideways off the turn, and Weston wins it. Mark Lamberton driving the tires off that 29 car as he came off the 4th turn. But it was not to be, as Ron Weston in the former Steve Rennedet automobile picks up the win in the Flying Tiger main event. And you've got to hand it to Weston. He definitely earned this as he held Lamberton off for the last 7 or 8 laps. But give Lamberton his due. A fine second place finish for the driver from Moore's Forks. And a great show as he really gave it everything that car had coming off the 4th turn. Came up a bit short. George White, another Plattsburgh area driver, finishes in the 3rd spot. So Vermont finishes first in the race, but New York comes in 2nd and 3rd. And the winner from the state of Vermont, picking up a Triple Crown tonight in the Flying Tiger division, is Ron Weston. We'll take a look at the scoreboard and recap the top 5. Weston wins it. Lamberton finishes 2nd. George White 3rd. Robin Wood, a fine finish in the 4th spot. And Eldred Hutchins finishes 5th. So 4 out of 5 in the top for New York. And the winner is Ron Weston. Late model Sportsman main event. 25 laps the distance, and something they're going to try tonight because of some problems they've been having with new tires. They will have a mandatory pit stop at lap number 13. The lineup on the inside of row number 1, the 45 of Brian Horn. Starting on the outside, car number 52, Barry Schwartz. Row number 2, the 13 of Richard Bootsy and the 19 of David Gay. Row number 3, the 25 of Dave Whitcomb and the 92 of Chris Durkee. Doug Hoare in the 46. Red Mead drives car number 1. Norm Andrews in car number 2. And Robin Branham in the 64. Joe Thomas in the 66. And on the outside of Joe Thomas, the 00. Last year's track champion, Steve Miller. We drop back another row to the 0 of Brent Dragon and the 63 of Bucko Branham. Jim Silly and Mark Lanfear. Dennis Demers in the 86. Danny Bridges in the 9. Jimmy Barton in the 57. Tony Andrews in the 20. Jean-Paul Cyr in the 32. Tony Poisson in the 42 on the outside. The 91 is Billy Fountain. Tim Patinka starts outside of Fountain in car number 83. The 76 is Steve Renadette. The 40 is Dwayne Lanfear. Trampus Demers drives the 81 car. The 14 is Phil Scott. The 74 is Monty Lemaire. Dennis Alderman drives car number 34. Lonnie Lacalade in the 70. Michael Knapp in car number 80. Jimmy Young in car number 3. Ernie Holmes from Peru in car 79, and starting shotgun on the field, the 31 of Lance Furno. 35 cars set to start this 25-lap main event. Brian Hoare gets the jump. Barry Schwartz quickly drops back in his 52 car. Richard Bootsy running third as the cars come down the stretch to complete lap number 1. Brian Hoare leads lap number 2. We got trouble. Heavily damaged 52 car of Barry Schwartz. Steve Miller's 00 also involved, as Schwartz got sideways coming off the third turn. Danny Bridges' 9 car also involved. You can see some damage to the front end of that car. But the main casualties here will be Barry Schwartz and Steve Miller. Phil Scott in the 14 car sits headed the wrong way, the exit of turn number 3. So the caution is out early on here in the late model Sportsman feature event. Brian Hoare leads it. Richard Bootsy runs second. Dave Whitcomb is third. Doug Hoare is fourth. And Champlain's David Gay holding down the 5th spot. Field is set and about ready to go back to green flag racing action. Brian Hoare and Richard Bootsy, top 2 cars. Looks as though he'll take one more lap under caution. One lap in the books. As they say, lap number 2 was not completed before the yellow flag came out. Brian Hoare and Richard Bootsy pick up the pace as they come down the stretch to take their green flag. Brian Hoare starts to pull away. A battle for the second spot. Dave Whitcomb in the 25. Richard Bootsy on the outside in the 13. Here comes Doug Hoare on the inside. He takes over third. David Gay in the 19 drops back to 6th as Norm Andrews moves up on the outside. Brian Hoare and Dave Whitcomb run 1-2. Doug Hoare runs third. Norm Andrews is fourth. Red Mead has moved into the 5th spot. Still a good battle on the front. Brian Hoare from Colchester, Vermont in the Dodge Aries. Whitcomb gets a bit sideways. Now Whitcomb moves low on the inside of Brian Hoare. Hoare is loose. Whitcomb moves to the inside, and Dave Whitcomb will take the lead. Here comes Hoare back on the inside. Dave Whitcomb starting to pull away. Brian Hoare runs second. Doug Hoare is third. Red Mead runs in the 4th spot. Norm Andrews is 5th. Good 3-car battle for the 3rd spot. Andrews now moves to 4th. They move around the lap car of Lanny Lacalade. Dave Whitcomb goes 3 wide. Caution flag will be coming out this time by as they check the tires. "13 laps in the book." It's Whitcomb, Brian Hoare, Doug Hoare, Norm Andrews, and Red Mead. 13 laps in the book. The cars will be coming in for a mandatory pit stop to check the tires. We get ready to go back to green flag racing. The mandatory pit stop has been completed. Tires are all in good shape. Dave Whitcomb in the 25 is the leader. 4 lap cars, and then you get back to the second and third place cars. The 45 of Brian Hoare runs second. Doug Hoare in the 46 runs third. There could be some anxious moments for those two drivers as some slow cars run in front of them. Whitcomb leads it. We'll watch as the second, third, and fourth place cars try to weave their way through traffic. Caution flag is out as Tim Patinka loops his number 83 car at the exit of turn number 1. So Patinka finding the asphalt a bit different than the dirt surface that he was a track champion on here not all that long ago. Caution flag is out. 13 laps in the books. And Dave Whitcomb continues to lead it. .13 laps in the book, and Dave Whitcomb is the leader. Whitcomb from Essex Junction, Vermont. Couple of lap cars. And the second place car of Brian Hoare. The third place car of Doug Hoare, and the fourth place car of Norman Andrews. So they're going to take one more lap before we go back to green flag action. The fifth place car is the one of Red Mead. Tony Andrews is running 6th. Richard Bootsy is 7th. David Gay is 8th. Joe Thomas runs 9th, and top 10 rounded out by John Paul Sear. So that's how they run halfway into this 25-lap main event for the late model Sportsman. Whitcomb leads it. Then the lap cars of Tony Poisson and Chris Durkee. Whitcomb starts to pull away. Brian Hoare's loose on the backstretch. Nearly takes out the Bill McBride billboard, but Hoare gets it back together. David Gay moving up in the 19 car. Dave Whitcomb leads it in the 25. Doug Hoare runs in the second spot. Norman Andrews is 3rd. The 1 of Red Mead is 4th. And Tony Andrews runs 5th. Richard Bootsy runs 6th in the 13. Joe Thomas is 7th. 8th is Steve Renadette. 9th is David Gay. Bucko Brana moves into the 10th spot in the 63 car. Whitcomb slows. Andrews gets tagged from behind. Andrews spins. Caution flag is out. Lonnie Lackalade in the 17 was headed toward pit road. Norm Andrews tried to pass him on the outside, and Andrews went for a ride. Caution flag is out. Andrews will go to the back of the pack. 8 laps to go in this main event, and it's Dave Whitcomb, Doug Hoare, Red Mead, the 20 of Tony Andrews, and the 13 of Richard Bootsy. Set for the restart, Dave Whitcomb and Doug Hoare, Red Mead, and Tony Andrews. Whitcomb pulls away, Red Mead moves into second. Whitcomb completes lap number 20. Tony Andrews is sideways. Nice job of saving it as the caution comes out, as on the backstretch the 81 of Trampus Demers has come to a halt. So the caution is out. 6 laps remaining in this main event. Ready to go back to green. Whitcomb and Mead, Andrews and Hoare. Dave Whitcomb from Essex Junction holding off Hyde Park's Red Mead. Tony Andrews runs third. And now he looks outside of Mead. Two laps this time by. Dave Whitcomb in the 25, Red Mead in the 1. 1 to go. Mead's got 2 turns left to make a run at him. He looks to the inside, coming off turn 4, down the stretch they come, and it's Whitcomb. Dave Whitcomb in the 25 picks up the victory in the main event for the late model Sportsman. Red Mead finishes in the 2nd spot. Tony Andrews comes home 3rd. Whitcomb starts the parade lap. Whitcomb, one of the top competitors in the Flying Tigers last year, picks up the feature win. in race number 2 for the late model Sportsman in the 1992 season. We'll check the scoreboard as they head down the backstretch. The winner, Dave Whitcomb. Red Mead finishes second. Tony Andrews third. Richard Bootsy fourth. And Doug Hoare comes home in the 5th spot. Late model Sportsman feature. The Street Stocks are coming up next. Look out.
Inside, row number 2, the 01 of Ron Clark Jr. out of Keysville, New York. Joe Rotella finds himself in 4th spot outside row number 2 from Plattsburgh, New York. Number 91, Greg Paya from Milton, Vermont, inside of row 3. Toby Ebersol from Moores, New York, number 82, outside of row 3. Mike Bunter from Franklin, Vermont, number 49, inside of 4. Outside of row 4, number 53, David Rotella from Mainville, New York. Jeff Fernie, number 79 from Peru, New York, is number 79, and he is on the inside of row 5. Randy Blake from East Montpelier, Vermont, number 19, on the outside of 5. In the stretch position, Tyson Brown from Moores, New York, 15 laps of Street Stock. Beat your race again and coming your way, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get ready to watch the show. You'll notice the flashing lights have gone by on the Chevrolet pit car. And we'll be bringing him into the pits in just a second, or the infield. And then we'll send them on their way. Here they come. They'll be wheel to wheel, bumper to bumper. They're a pretty even class. They'll come hard down out of 4th. And our chief starter will give them a flag as they come this